How Morbius exposed my wife's 3-year affair. Announcement. This channel has been demonetized. But there are some good news. I found new source of stories that I haven't seen on YouTube so far. I'll post them on the new channel. Link can be found in the description. If you watch any video, let me know if you like new format and voice. I'm still tweaking some things. Story. Preface. I am M42, she is F42. We have a son who is 8. Married 15 years, been together 20. We have no debt, a healthy S-time life. We would have S-time every other day, though I did ask for it every day and compromised with her, and are very social people. I'll read any and all advice comments. Might not respond to everything, but I want you to know that your opinion matters. I'm looking for advice and not sympathy. It's true, I wish you didn't have to read a title like that. On April 5th of this year, my best friend and I went to go make fun of the horrible Morbius movie on $5 Tuesday, and I saw a suspicious text on my wife's phone. She never leaves her phone around. It was face up on the kitchen counter when I was making our son dinner. For the past year I've had high blood pressure. In 6 months prior to the text I stopped sleeping. I'd get 2 hours tops a night. 2 months before the text I stopped eating maybe 1 meal a day, no snacks. She was distant at home and with our friends. Good thing I don't drink that much, geez. The movie started and in the first 10 minutes, someone in the theater had a heart attack and they needed to pause the movie. This is when I told my best friend about a weird text I saw on my wife's phone. We had almost 30 minutes to talk about what happened face to face, and she told me to confront. After the movie I found my wife working in the basement. She kissed me and went to use the bathroom, leaving her phone on her desk. The temptation was too strong. I looked, and the texts from this contact were gone. I wrote the number down and went to my computer to Google it, and I came up with nothing. Burner phone? I confront and he's a friend from work. The next day, April 6th, she's panicking. I dig through months of phone records and find they text constantly, between 3-5 daily, Thursday nights at bowling, and some Saturday mornings. She assures me he's a friend from work who they talk about work and bowling. When she went to help our son with something, I checked her phone and she deleted the contact. Later that night I'm curled up in the fetal position on the sofa thinking I was going crazy. April 7th, I'm trying to pull back all their text messages to my computer. Text chatting with the phone company was tough. I couldn't call because my wife and I both work from home. The language barrier was a problem. Then 3 months worth of texts start to download to her phone at 2:50 p.m., not my computer. I hear her curse from her office. I go to confront and I say, hey, if he's a friend from work, let's just go through the texts and see, that way my OCD mind can be at peace. She looks me dead in the eyes and says, the truth is that there is someone else, and leaves to get our son from school. She comes back and begs me not to talk about it until he went to bed. She leaves to get him. I tell my best friend. The initial lie. That night she told me that she met him at bowling in March 2019, and that they made out, booked a hotel room, and she didn't go. She didn't speak to him again until she was driving past a gas station in 2021 and saw his truck. They exchanged phone numbers and decided to meet at a local hotel. From that point on they met once a month in his truck or the hotel for S-time. This continues until March of this year. It was at this point that I admitted that in 2009, 13 years ago, I stepped out of our marriage to X. I know I may have lost some readers here, but I'm not looking for sympathy, I'm looking for advice for what follows from this point on. At the time my state of mind was, I cheated, she cheated, let's get therapy and heal, we have a kid, the house is almost paid off. Let's be better people and parents. May 3rd D-Day Part 2. We started therapy by this point and we were having amazing time 2-3 times a day. But she's all of a sudden acting weird. I tell her I need to sync our Google accounts for some BS reason, and I start in March of 2019 on her Maps timeline, and I'm seeing several trips to a close-by parking lot to the bowling alley, weekly. The day she claimed she didn't go to the hotel was deleted. Several dates that summer when I was out of town were deleted. Who was watching our kid? The fall of 2019 she switched bowling alleys and was driving over an hour to see him weekly. In his truck, in different parking lots all near the old bowling alley. Our first session of therapy was a complete and total lie. She turned the timeline feature off in Jan of 2020. She also initially told me they always used protection, she came clean that they never did. I got phone call records and traced her cell phone every time that she was in the vicinity of his work. They were going to his work and having time in his truck, in the middle of the day, at least once a month in 2021. May 10th D-Day Part 3. In the fallout from the first session and the lies, I wanted to know more. Wouldn't you? At this point I knew that she saw him frequently in 2019, and they took a break in 2020. From there it was once a month until I saw the texts. I wanted to know how many times she did this at the start of the pandemic that she would have put our health in jeopardy. What I got was that, instead of her just seeing him a couple's times in 2022, she saw him almost every week. She claimed she was trying to end it, well then why was it more frequent? Also claimed that she was lying to protect my feelings, but I think she was lying to cover her tracks. But, is this everything? Is she still trickle-truthing me? She has been spending a lot of time on affair recovery websites and came up with a self-diagnosis of limerence, which is an infatuation with a lesser person. I called BS and found a lawyer. Mid-May, end of June. We're still doing therapy, but we cannot have a conversation without the word limerence being involved. It was her excuse. It was okay because she wasn't limerent anymore now. She claimed, it wasn't about the time with him and he really sucked in bed. No one has bad affair time for 3 years, come on. My patience is wearing thin. The therapist said she never heard of limerence. We're in individual therapy as well at this point and our therapists never heard of it. We are still having time, we are still co-parenting, but our son is noticing that something is off. I have been better about handling this than I think most men would be, but I really lost it when she went on her pre-planned girls' weekend trip. I was okay the first 2 days, but lost it by the 3rd. I wasn't mean, but I was unfiltered about my feelings. To this point I hid the lawyer from her, but when she came home she went through my email and found the proof on June 30th. She was suspicious because I was asking her about her 401k. July? I felt bad about hiding the fact that I had a lawyer. She had every right to be mad at me. The agreements weren't finalized, but she agreed to the lawyer's outline, as long as we share custody of our son. Everything was split down the middle except we would keep our own retirement accounts. I was being fair. Throughout the month of July, I'm still hurt, depressed, confused, all the things that come with finding out about what she did. She, though, is working hard. Sending me videos, articles on recovery. Writing me daily emails, cleaning, cooking, playing with our son. She is being the mother I always knew she could be, that she wasn't the last 3 years. I don't need to be waited on hand and food, I always thought we were divide and conquer parents. I can cook. I can clean. We do not believe in gender stereotypes at all. August. This brings us to now. She is still writing me daily emails. She is apologetic, remorseful, didn't realize what she had before she almost lost it. Claims the affair fog didn't allow her to see how shifty this guy was. That she had to text him first, she had to drive to him, that he didn't put anything into their relationship except sleep with my wife. I have all the documents from the lawyer ready to be signed. But what I need help with is, am I being manipulated by her lies? How did the sweet girl I met in college turn into this person who sought out public time in a truck for 3 years? Was she really trying to end it? And is that why he texted at a time that wasn't in their regular scheduled texting times? Is she truly remorseful? Is she going to just wait until I stop watching her every move to do it again? Has she done this before this guy? She wants to wait until April to make the final decision, and I keep waffling. Part of me wants it done now so I can move on with my life. Part of me sees the changes she's making. What do you think? Am I a chump who's going to get cheated on again if I stay? Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, why not divorce and continue seeing one another afterwards? I'd give you the freedom to leave if you decide to stick around and things go bad. And it'd be an actual consequence to her actions. She may succeed in getting you to stay, but you'll no longer be married, and each subsequent year would cement that. I'd personally divorce and move on. A multi-year affair isn't anything to sneeze at. More so when you consider how much work she was willing to invest in it. Redditor follow-up, this. But to add on, not only is a multi-year affair nothing to sneeze at, it affected how your wife treated your child. Look at this again, Op, you said. Throughout the month of July, I'm still hurt, depressed, confused, all the things that come with finding out about what she did. She, though, is working hard. Sending me videos, articles on recovery. Writing me daily emails, cleaning, cooking, playing with our son. She is being the mother I always knew she could be, that she wasn't the last 3 years. She took everything you gave her for granted. The house. The home. The lifestyle. The child. She is trying to love bomb you and the kid, trying to prove she could have been this person the whole time. But she wasn't. Edit. Again. Look at this part. She, though, is working hard. Sending me videos, articles on recovery. She doesn't want consequences. The affair never hit her like it did you at this moment. She is trying to push you to move on. Not to dwell on it, and move on quickly. The damage of an affair, emotional, physical, is something that isn't rushed, that isn't pushed, and is humbly accepted and truthful. So far, I've seen her just keep lying to you, Op. How hard is a few more, for her? Redditor 2, what a curiously horrible relationship y'all two have had for a long time. Clearly this relationship isn't fulfilling either of you if y'all both feel the need to cheat. By all means, continue along and wait for the 3rd episode. Cheating for over a decade and hiding it. Cheating for 3 straight years and hiding it. Please stay together so the rest of the world doesn't have to experience dating y'all. The only real victim is your kid, who is likely to be a city partner to his future partner due to weak moral boundaries and ethics that his parents passed on to him. Abuse is generational, and it will clearly result in the same here unless he somehow becomes self-aware to know that both of his parents sucked at setting a good example of what a healthy and happy relationship looks like and makes significant changes. Sadly, that rarely happens. Redditor follow-up, agreed, set an example for your kids. If you don't have a spine, at least think of the example you're setting for your kids. Redditor 3, you hooked up twice and she had a long ongoing affair for years. She went on dates and started a S-time delivery service. Lean back, enjoy your burger while I pleasure you during your lunch hour. I am sure the affair fog is starting to lift. But I have a few questions. Did she inform the OBP? I am guessing there is one. They deserve to know? So here is my advice to you. Finalize the divorce and say you are willing to date her casually while seeing what's out there. Then make up your decision. Op answer, she told him, I know, she wants to tell the wife, but I said I don't want all the drama. Redditor 4, speaking from experience, people who cheat and go to such great lengths to hide it, will inevitably do it again. There was no remorse nor compassion for you for a long time, and that's clear in how you describe this situation. Unfortunately, it may be time to move forward in your life and work on healing from the damage this has caused. Although ultimately you are the only one who can make this decision. Ask yourself this: if it was a close friend, family member, or your child experiencing these hardships, what advice would you give them? Would you encourage them to move on and see the situation more objectively? Sometimes this perspective gives us insight into how to make logical decisions rather than emotional ones. No matter the case, you're gonna be okay, in the end, even if it takes some time. Best regards. Redditor 5, it sounds like she's lied to you at every opportunity and continues to do so. She knows this other guy isn't going to commit to her and take care of things like you do. If his number is a burner, that's most likely because he's in a relationship too and hiding it from his partner as well. Your wife is just trying to stall for time, hoping that either you'll give up on the divorce or the other guy will commit. Don't kid yourself, she still talks to him. Redditor follow-up, yeah, you need to find out who this guy is. She needs to tell you about who he is, what he does he have, and so. If he does have and so, she needs to tell the so what they did before any reconciliation will happen, if that's what you really want.